Welcome, Taurus. So let's get into a reading and see what is the message that you need to hear right here and right now. The intention is that we are looking at the next 30 days. So for the next 30 days, where should your focus be? What's important, what's significant, and what is relevant for all Taurus energies? We are starting with Oracle because I like Oracle and I like the way that it sets the tone of the reading as to what does the next 30 days have in store for you. Right, cards are shuffled and I have cut, and oh, this is lovely. So Taurus, we have the card of hope, and it says out of darkness comes light. How beautiful is that, and how gorgeous is this artwork? So Taurus, the message that I get from this immediately is, the time period now, as I said, the next 30 days. And I just want to preface at this stage and also say this is a completely timeless video. Anytime that you find this is exactly the message that Spirit needs you to hear at this moment. So even if you're watching this video 2 years after it was created, it doesn't matter. For the next 30 days, from the time you watch this video for the first time, for the next 30 days, this is what is in store for you. So right now, you are in a period where things have maybe not been fabulous, okay? Let's be completely honest, Taurus. Things have not been fabulous. You have gone through some really difficult challenges. And maybe you're feeling as if things are just never going to be okay. Maybe you've been feeling a bit despondent. Maybe you've been feeling a little bit hopeless. And the fact that you've got the hope card is telling you that there's no need to feel hopeless. There's no need to feel as if it's all just too much, because there is hope. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and no, it's not a train coming at you. This is the card that says to you, out of darkness comes light. And, what we need to understand, no matter what we're going through, no matter what we're experiencing, no matter what you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, the sun keeps moving, or should I say, we keep moving around the sun. So, and we keep rotating on our axis, the earth does. So that means that day becomes night, night becomes day, and it is just this continuous repetitive cycle. Nothing can stop it. Nothing stops the hand of time. So this dark period that you've been in, this hopeless period that you've been in, it's just a matter of time before the earth turns and the night becomes day. And it doesn't mean that it just goes straight back into the dark again. Yes, it does, but it depends on how you handle it. Are you going to use the electricity and put a light on and put some light into your darkness? Because out of the darkness comes light. Darkness is not something that you need to be limited by, restricted by. And yes, we all go through periods of challenge. We all go through periods of difficulty. But this is definitely saying to you that it's nearly over. It's just about done. Right, I'm going to leave that card there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm picking up a tarot deck, giving it a shuffle, because now I want to understand what is the darkness? What does the darkness represent for you, Taurus? What is this hardship that you've been going through? What is this difficulty that you've been experiencing? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it mean for you? Okay, so this darkness that you've been experiencing, where does it come from? What is the significance of it? What is the message that comes of it? So we basically want to clarify from Spirit, what is this darkness that you are experiencing? So the first card that I draw for you is the Nine of Swords. Now, if we look at this particular card, just look at his yellow eyes, okay? And when you look at these yellow eyes, you can see there's this kind of like frightened expression on his face. And that's exactly what the Nine of Swords is. The Nine of Swords is the card of fear and anxiety, stress. The Nine of Swords is the card that says to you, everywhere you look, you're seeing monsters. Everywhere you look, you're seeing something that makes you feel nervous, something that makes you feel anxious. And when we're going through these kind of challenges, these kind of difficulties, of course, it's only natural that you're going to feel hopeless. So again, as a reminder, Spirit is saying to you, we got you, okay? You're going to be okay. The challenge is just about behind you. The Nine of Swords that is coming through here is telling you that, yes, there are a lot of things that you don't understand. There are a lot of things that you don't really understand or believe in, but you know what? It's going to be okay. When you I'm always reminded with the Nine of Swords, if you think about a little child lying in their bed at night, mommy and daddy have tucked them in, put them to sleep, and suddenly they hear a noise. They look towards their cupboard door and they imagine all these monsters. And they scream and shout for mommy and daddy to come and help them. There's a monster, there's a monster, there's a monster. And when mommy and daddy come and put the light on, we see it's not a monster, it's just their teddy bear created a shadow. And it's the shadow that was scaring them. That is basically what the Nine of Swords is saying to you. So Taurus, what in your life is causing you that kind of anxiety? What are you going through at the moment that is triggering fear response within you. When you're able to acknowledge and to recognize that feeling, you are in a better position to handle, to deal, to heal with whatever is going on around you. Okay, so that's quite interesting. That's quite interesting. The next card that I get for you is the card of the Hermit. It's the card of introspection. It's the card of solitude. And the Hermit, if you can have a look, right there he stands on his little mountain all by himself. There is nobody else around him. He has this really long staff that he uses to balance himself, and then he has inside his little lantern he has a star. So he has caught a star, and he's using it to light the way, but he can only see that far in front of his feet. He can only see one step at a time. And again, if you've ever, camera doesn't seem to be in focus, if you've ever walked in the dark on unfamiliar ground by yourself, you can see your next step, but you never know where the next gap is, hole is, where the next indent is, when are you next going to trip. So it creates again fear and anxiety. So what you've got, Taurus, is spirit acknowledging and spirit confirming that you're going through a lot right now. Okay, and it's not easy. You're going through a lot right now, and it's really and truly, it's not easy. You are stressed, you are anxious, you are nervous, you are worried, you are concerned, but there's no need to be, because there is hope. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that light at the end of the tunnel is hope. Everything's actually going to be okay, but you have to just keep putting your foot one foot in front of the other. And it's important to realize that you don't have to see everything. You've got your little light that is shining, so you only really need to see one step ahead. And because if you focus too far into the future, if you focus too far ahead, you're not paying attention to what's happening right here by your feet. So the message that's coming through for you here, Taurus, is at the moment things are scary. You are anxious, you are nervous, you are concerned, you are worried, all of those kind of things. But there's no need to be, because there is hope. Okay, there is hope. Everything is actually going to work out okay. Taking another oracle, and it makes perfect sense. You've got the card of journey. Okay, so you've got the card of journey, and it says tour your, I can't even read, gosh, your life is a sacred gift. And that is exactly the truth. When you realize that all of these little scary moments, all of these things that happen to you that cause a little bit of fear, cause a little bit of insecurity and doubt, basically what they do to you, Taurus, is they help you to appreciate the good things in life. So if we didn't have the fear and the anxiety, how would we know when we are feeling happy, when we are feeling content, and when we are feeling fulfilled? We wouldn't. You know, that's the truth of the matter. So this is spirit saying to you that life is a journey. And journeys have ups and journeys have downs, and journeys have ups and journey has. And it's interesting how I started off talking earlier on about our earth rotating on its axis as it goes around the sun, that we have day, we have night, we have day, we have night. And that's the journey of life, isn't it? And sometimes we have good and sometimes we have bad. Sometimes our good days are longer, sometimes our good days are shorter, but there's always going to be a good day and a bad day. But it's how we react and respond to it that truly matters. And this is what the Nine of Swords is saying. The Nine of Swords is saying that you're getting too stuck into your head with how big that monster is, and how scary that monster is, and how daunting that monster is. You've got yourself convinced that it is this big. So like fisherman's story, you all know the story about a fisherman's story. When he says to you, my fish was this big, he actually means this. He doesn't mean the distance between the two. He's meaning that. And this is what we tend to do with our problems, with our challenges, with the things that scare us. We make them so much bigger in our heads. We make them so much more scary. And with this journey card, this is spirit saying to you that your life is a sacred gift. It's your life, and it is a sacred gift. It is a gift from the powers that be. But it's how you handle it, it's what you do with it that truly matters. And if you're going to live your life in fear, if you're going to live your life expecting the worst, expecting everything to be bad, expecting everything to go wrong, expecting everything to fail, the universe says to you, okay, Taurus, that's what you want. I'm going to give it to you. And then that monster in the cupboard doesn't just become a shadow, it becomes a real life monster. So, and you've got to realize that you generally tend to internalize all of these kind of things, okay? You generally tend to keep it here, and not really put it out. So we're all putting on a brave face. And you're walking around life, Taurus, pretending like everything's fine. But internally, you are anxious, stressed. Your anxiety levels are through the roof. And there's no need to be. Life is a journey. And with all journeys, there are ups and downs. But the ups and downs should not be affecting you. I am going to draw another card. And it is the card of strength, okay? And strength is exactly that. It's about your inner strength. It's about the strength that you have within your heart and your soul to face the things that you are most afraid of. So here we have this little character who is now facing this monstrous, I don't know, lion. And at first it was like, I can't do that, I can't do that, I can't do that. And as soon as they found the courage to reach out and to stroke the face of the lion, suddenly the lion starts purring, and suddenly the person goes, oh, was it that easy? But it's our fear of not being able to, and it's the fear of the monster in the cupboard that makes us not live our life. And Taurus, you need to be living. You need to be experiencing. You need to be doing. You need to be living your best life. And you can't live your best life if you're living in fear. So this is Spirit saying to you that you are, see, holding it the wrong way. This is Spirit saying to you that you are strong enough. This is Spirit saying to you that you have the power within you. This is Spirit saying that you just need courage for that first step, for that first action, for that first reaching out to stroke the lion's mane. You just need courage for that one step. And then you will see how easy it is, how simple it is, how uncomplicated it is, and most importantly, how fabulous your journey of life actually is. Because Spirit believe in you. Spirit believe in you that you will find the courage, that you can do this. There is hope for a better tomorrow if you can believe in the journey. Take the steps that are necessary, walk the path that is necessary, and not allow your fear, your insecurities, and your doubts to hold you back, because they are in a big way holding you back. And Taurus, this is me being the voice of Spirit saying to you, not necessary. You do not need to be living your life this way. You do not need to be living your life this way. It's time to step away from fear. It's time to step away from your insecurities and doubts. It's time for you to find your courage, to find your strength, to make the changes that are necessary. All right, one more tarot from there. You know, I say this all the time in my readings. I can't make this stuff up. So the card we have here is the Chariot. I just want to try and get it into focus for you. The card we have here is the Chariot, and the Chariot has got the two seahorses, one of my absolute favorite animals in the whole animal kingdom, so much so that I even have seahorse on my charm bracelet. So we've got the two seahorses over there, and we've got a person who is riding the seahorses, okay? But can you see how we've got this seahorse coming this way and we've got this red one going in the opposite direction? That's a problem. You know, anytime you're trying to move in one direction, but your horses or your seahorses are going in different directions, you're going to be all over the place. The Chariot is the card of saying you need to focus on every step that you're taking. You need to focus on every action, every movement, because your movements determine your outcome. Because obviously, if you're taking steps to the back, you're moving further and further away. Whereas if you take steps forward, you come further and further towards your goals, closer and closer to your goals. So the Chariot is saying to you that you are on a journey, because that's, again, that's the message of the Chariot. It's about journey. It's not about the destination. It's about the route that you take to get there. How many of you, Taurus, have been on a road trip? Road trips to me are just like the best thing ever. I love, love, love a good road trip. But when I say a good road trip, it's got to be through interesting towns. It's got to be not just the long, straight road. If you've ever driven on a long, straight freeway, your eyes start closing, your eyes start nodding off. It becomes, because there's no stimulation, because there's no interaction, because there's nothing different. It's the same, same, same. And the way that our human minds and eyes work, if we're looking at the same thing all the time, if there's no visual stimulation, the eyes want to close. So I love a good road trip when there is things to see, little places to stop off, and the scenery is changing all the time, mountains and sea view and residentials and whatever else. Love, love, love that. Seeing all the wild animals, etc. But we need it to be stimulating. Okay, so Taurus, with you at the moment, things haven't been easy. Okay, we've already identified that. We've already identified that it hasn't been an easy road for you. It's been difficult. It's been a challenge. Where you're at the moment, though, is understanding that everything is a perception of the mind. All right? I want to shuffle the other tarot card while I talk. Everything has been a perception of the mind. You've been imagining the worst, therefore you've been attracting the worst. You've been expecting the worst, okay? And you haven't really allowed yourself the variety to do something different, to experience something different. And you also haven't had the courage to reach out and to stroke the head of the lion. And where you're at now is Spirit saying to you, Taurus, that you are actually ready to make a shift. You are actually ready to snap out of it. You're actually ready to make a change, to step away from those things that have caused you pain and discomfort in the past. And you are ready to hold on to hope and to move towards the light, okay? To move towards the light, which is not an oncoming train. All right, let's see what other confirmations and validations we get from Spirit. So we've got the card of rest. This is the Four of Swords in traditional tarot. And Taurus, this is telling you, don't be in a hurry to fix everything at once, okay? Everything happens in the right time for the right reasons in the right way. You just have to be open to it, okay? So this is exactly this message. Number one, acknowledging that you have been in a dark place. Number two is acknowledging that you're ready to step out of that dark place. Number three is recognizing that you are prepared to take the steps, to stay focused on your journey, to keep moving forward, but to also understand that all things happen in their own time. When you try and force a situation, again, let's go back to the road trip. If a road trip is going to take 12 hours, the road trip is going to take 12 hours, okay? Yes, you can accelerate. Yes, you can take shortcuts. Yes, you can do a couple of little things to speed it up, but 12 hours is still going to be 12 hours, okay? And the rest card, the Four of Swords, is telling you just opening the mind to shifting perspective is all that you need to do. You don't need to do anything else. Rest is telling you, put your feet up and chillax. Put your feet up and rest. When the time is right to get up and to start doing things differently, you absolutely will. But there's no reason and no need to do that just yet. Take your time, because you didn't get yourself into the state of fear and anxiety instantly. It's probably been building up over a period of time. So we can't just click our fingers and it's all gone. It's going to take a little bit of time. The next card that I have for you is the card of imagination. Now, how fabulous is that? So here we have somebody standing on a cliff face and they're looking out at these beautiful waters. There is a ghost ship. Now, to me, it looks like a ghost ship. I don't know if you agree or if you disagree, but to me, that looks like a ghost ship. I am just loving the coke cloak that she's wearing with all those beautiful flowers on. But what is the imagination? So she's maybe also feeling a little bit uneasy with her life. Maybe Taurus, maybe she's feeling a little bit dissatisfied. Maybe she's feeling a little bit like, oh, things aren't quite where they need to be. And with imagination, what she's doing is she's imagining herself on the ghost ship. She's imagining the possibilities that may come from this experience. The imagination card is telling you that she is stepping out of her comfort zone and she's imagining herself getting onto that ship and living a completely different life. Now, I hear you thinking, I hear you thinking that we don't want to live in a dream world. We don't want to live in the world of imagination. We don't want to live in the world of fantasy. But Taurus, just bear me out. And I know Taurus, I know you guys are not about fantasy. You're about rules and doing things the right way and, all those Taurian kind of energies. But what the imagination is saying to you, that if you imagine a monster in the cupboard, it becomes real. And if you imagine a fantasy getaway on a ghost ship. It can happen. It's about just opening the mind to the possibilities of hope. Opening the mind to the possibilities of hope and not allowing yourself to be limited or restricted by challenge, by problems, by things, by recognizing that if you can perceive something fabulous happening that will change your circumstance, why not? Why not, Taurus? Why not? There is no rule that says that you have to be miserable. There is no rule that says you have to be uncomfortable, that you have to be unhappy. There is no rule that says that you can't have your cake and eat it too. But in order to do that, you have to be strong enough, brave enough, courageous enough to touch the lion and not be fearful of what the lion is going to do to you. Our final card, Taurus. I have to giggle. I'm looking for another card that I had here. The card that I've just drawn for you is going to talk to the same situation of telling you slow and steady. Take your time. There's no rush. You don't have to fix it all instantly. You can't just click your fingers and be at your destination. That there is a process that you're going to go through. And the final card that I have drawn for you, Taurus, is patience. You know what? We all understand the word. We don't necessarily like it. And I know, Taurus, I know patience in you, like, I get it. Can you see again? It says, through the darkness to the light. I want you, oh gosh, I want you to read both, okay? Okay, so hope was our first one that we had. Oh, now the camera's gone out of focus. Sorry, I want you to read both of them. I'm going to get it into focus. Hope says, out of darkness comes light. Patience says, through the darkness to the light. Through the darkness to the light. Again, I can't make this stuff up. These two cards, this is your first card and this is your last card, speaking the same story. That is confirmation, Taurus, that this has been an incredibly powerful message that you needed to hear. Your circumstance is changing. You are in the precipice of change for the better, as long as you can let go of your fear, as long as you can let go of your anxiety, as long as you can focus on reaching out and touching the lion without worrying. Don't allow your anxiety to hold you back. Don't allow the monster that you are perceiving to be in control. We're going to push that monster aside. We're going to see it for what it is and see it for the insignificance of what it is. We're also going to focus on taking just a single step. We're going to make sure that we're focusing on, where's my hermit? I'm going to put these two together. We're going to focus on taking a single step, one step at a time, as we walk our journey, okay? One step at a time as we focus on the steps, each step that we take, and understanding that the destination is more important. No, the journey. The journey is more important than the destination. And if you can do all of this, Taurus, if you can take this advice and instead of allowing yourself to get caught up in the darkness, instead of allowing yourself to get caught up in the fear, where's that other card? There they are. Instead of allowing yourself to get caught up in the fear, to recognize that patience, seeing the truth for what it is what will get you out of the dark. There are things that you need to do, slow and steady, one thing at a time, focus on one thing. But when you find yourself facing that fear, instead of retreating and panicking, take a minute and breathe, and then take your step forward. And if you can do that, you're going to sort out, resolve, overcome, repair all the things that have been holding you back for the longest time. Taurus, this is a life-changing moment for you. And the only thing that you have to do is focus on where your stress and your anxiety, what is triggering it, what is causing it, and what can you do to change it. Thank you for being with me, sending you so much love and many blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.